Hi, I'm Ray and this is TinyTableGames. Thanks for clicking on the video, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be playing Legacy of You Year 3, or the third episode of the Legacy of You solo board game by Renegade Games campaign, where it is all the high adventure and action of digging ditches while barbarians are attacking the village. If you want to see all the rules and stuff, check out videos number 1 or 2, year 1, year 2. We're going to hop right into it. It's a campaign game, so there's various cards that things happen. You read in the little storybook, and as it goes, that alters what's going on in the game world, kind of like a Legacy game, except fully resettable because it's just cards. And that's about it. There's some definite mechanics here that are slowly getting figured out as we play. Figured out I was doing one thing wrong with the barbarians, thanks to a comment. Thank you, person. You know who you are. So we got to advance the barbarians a bit more aggressively than I was, but other than that, not too much changed. With that said, let's get right to it. Okay, so here's the board for year 3. We're still dealing with the famine, but this famine card, notice, put one meat on there and there's an event. Put a wheat on there and there's an event. And then put the milk on there and there's an event. Turns out that's supposed to be milk, not water, but who knew? Additionally, we have the broken down version of the fortress, which will require only 2 white meeples to get rid of, but we have to do it at the same time as the barbarians. The other thing that I was getting wrong is the +1 on the barbarian means that they'll march down the line as it goes, and even kicking people out of the way, which is a rule I had missed the first time. Slide any remaining barbarian cards to the left so there are enough spaces to the right for the new barbarian cards to be added based on the sum of all the +1 barbarian cards found along the top shore. In the rare case there are townsfolk's cards in the way, discard the leftmost townsfolk card and repeat step 1. So basically, the one to the far left gets tossed into the discard pile and it keeps shifting left until there's enough space for the barbarians. So that's the only rule change. Other than that, let's get right to it. So, for 1 and a grocery, and that's about it. And as always, you've got 10 cards to start with and 2 turns to do that, and if you just do the board draw, that'll be sufficient to meet this first requirement, except for the part where we're going to lose up to 2 cards. But really the only thing you can do to accelerate that is build your second white meeple and burn some of these guys. Now, that said, we've got a couple really good tuck cards here. So I'm immediately going to use this to tuck in here, so we're automatically drawing another white meeple. That's a lucky good first draw. Let's see, do I want to use that for wheat? I don't think I do. We're going to use this, discard this guy for 1 brick, because one of the first things to do is build out either a white meeple or this one, which is any color but white meeple, and since we just have that drop there, we'll probably build this one first. But the goal is you got to build up your meeple count quick. Then the next thing you want is this first hut, because that's your meeple color converter. So that creates more diversity in getting that done. These are the equivalency ones, which are less important if you can get the rest of that engine set up. So we shall see how that goes. Always recruit your freebie. And use our grocery, because we have no chance of addressing the barbarian threat on the first turn, so we're just going to have to lose 2 cards, which means we'll still have 1 more hand. So we'll use that 1 grocery to, I think, recruit wood guy here, double wood, because he was a story upgrade. That's why he's 2 wood or any color meeple if you sack him. Whoops. So he goes straight to the discard pile. Or the exhausted pile, excuse me, discards out of the game. Okay. Do I want another white meeple / yellow meeple, or should I just get started on that? And I think the answer is I'm going to get started on that and give myself a yellow meeple, which will allow me to bribe that barbarian. Notice you can't bribe the fort. We're going to lose 1 card, but having a yellow meeple to bribe the barbarian is helpful. And we will use this one for the meat section, which automatically triggers event 33 in the storybook. So as always, spoilers, reading event number 33. Bo Yi came running to my tent this afternoon, his urgency beset by his own haste, as he had to catch his breath before being able to share what he had discovered, and what a discovery it was. While pursuing my own musings that the fire would have needed something to help it start, he has uncovered evidence the fire was started intentionally and the tracks led away from camp. No kidding. Someone has been stealing our food. We have mustered a tracking party and sent them on the trail. I have chosen Zhu Ying to lead them, as her reputation as a master hunter and tracker is not false praise. Even with her skill, it will take time to discover where this trail leads, but I will not tolerate this thievery. My people will not starve after working to feed others who wish to eat for free. Find card 66 in the story deck and place it face down underneath your ready pile. Oh, that's interesting. If this was already added during a previous game, instead gain 2 wood. Huh, so we get a card in our ready pile. So we got 1 extra worker right off the bat. That's pretty slick. So we recruit 3 basically. Card 66. 69, 66. Oh, it's a monkey. Huh. Now that's interesting. Can't buy anything or can't build anything yet. Can use the 1 white meeple to collect 1 more grocery. So we will collect the 1 more grocery, and then I will use the 1 more grocery again to recruit this person and build up our inventory of townfolk as quickly as possible. And with that, now I think we're really done. So 1 barbarian gets bribed, 1 barbarian eats the top card of the deck, and now it's time to refresh. So slide everybody down. And now this barbarian slides down because we have a +1 barbarian, so another barbarian pops up here. So now we'll lose 3 cards this coming turn, unless we can bribe or get rid of somebody. And fill in the townsfolk. Okay, well, if we don't finish off this turn, we lose the game. So that kind of focuses 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to recruit. Now we got 2 white meeples, so that's nice. 1 more coin, 1 more bag of groceries, and 2 meeples. First things first, we got to dig this canal. So we get 1 brick, 1 wood, and we have to lose yet another townsfolk. So off the top of the deck they go. So we are going to use her to recruit 1 white meeple, then use these 3, brick and a wood and a meeple, to open this one. So we get a multicolored meeple when we recruit now. Extra groceries, I think, right now. Can we get another yellow meeple? Yes, we can. So I'll discard her for yellow meeple to bribe that guy. So we're just going to lose 1 card again. Looks like this one we're just going to use for groceries. Ooh, I should use that for wheat instead. Wheat it shall be instead of double groceries. So over here, now we've got number 43. I would laugh if I wasn't so furious. A small band of thieves and bandits, bearing a standard of a monkey, have been raiding our food supplies and selling it to local barbarians, laughing at us all the while. Bo Yi and the tracker stayed long enough to hear the retelling of setting the fire and making off with our valuable supplies undercover. He acted as my sword, and while it was not without cost, we will no longer be feeding our enemies in this endeavor. Draw the top 2 barbarian cards from the barbarian draw pile and look at them. Okay. Gain the reward shown on the right side of each card and then place them in the discard pile. Ooh, very nice. And take 1 damage. So we lose this card. Bye-bye, monkey. And we gain 5 shells and a brick. So recruit the freebie, 8. Grocery again to pick up these 2. To account for all of our losses. And this one is brick again, or brick and groceries. I think we'll just hang on to them and recruit the brick. So now we got 2 brick, so that'll be helpful. Oh, we should have brought this guy back. Let's see, can we do anything with that? Yes, we could. We could build another farm right now and get yet another meeple. So I'm going to spend 3 coins to buy a wood. Could also buy a brick that way. And then use the meeple, bye-bye, the brick and the wood to build a second farm, which we're going to put right there, which gives us 1 coin back. Let's see, we bribed this barbarian with 1 yellow meeple, this barbarian with a brick, and we lose 1 card, which forces a draw, which means we have to shuffle, which forces us forward. And shuffled up, we lose that one. Okay, well, we're going to have to get on that quick so we can get those people re-recruited and get that monkey. All right, so that's done. So now it's time to refresh, so the boat goes back. If I had any meeples there, they'd pull back, shift these guys down. We don't gain any additional barbarians, so it's just 1 marching on. Whoops. There we go. And this guy. So we got 3 barbarians up there, plus the fort. That's lovely. So 2 townsfolk, which slows down how fast we cycle our townsfolk, which I don't care for at all. And now it's time for the new turn. So now we're getting 2 white meeples, which is good. 1 coin, 1 bag of groceries, and 1 multicolor meeple, which in this case is going to be red. Okay, and draw 4. Okay, first thing we're gonna do without even looking, recruit the freebie. Yep. And let's see, there's a yellow, so there's a red and a yellow, but that's not enough to get the job done. Let's see, there's a brick, and I'm not gonna need to shuffle yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although notice that barbarian is draw an extra barbarian and has a story point on it. But I can't really do anything about him because of the stupid fort. So that stinks. So this one would be really great to get rid of. So how can I get a red? There's 1 red meeple. There's a black meeple. So I would need another red meeple or the ability to color swap for a red. All right, so this is gonna be painful. So here's what we're gonna do. 3 coins for a stick, check. Then we're going to use these 2 people. Let's see, I'm going to sack him for a stick and a meeple. And I'm going to use her for a stick, but happily it's just a discard. Oh, but I have no place to put them. Flaw in the plan. All right. 1, 2, 1. Rats. I forgot about that little aspect. I've got no place to put that building at the moment. I need additional coinage, and I can't generate it just yet. So back to bribery. We will discard him to get a yellow meeple to bribe this guy with 1 more time. Let's see. These guys are just sitting around, not too terribly helpful at the moment now, but they will be soon. So we will use him on the groceries. That's about all he can do. So then we'll burn 2 sacks of groceries to pick up 2 more people. Let's see. And this one we can do the milk with. Is that the right play? Yeah, that's the right play. I do believe. So, time to do the milk number 4 there. Let's see, with the thieves behind us, we can also leave worry in the dirt. Our stores have been boosted by all that was recovered from the monkey camp, and our foragers have renewed vigor in their work. One last push this season should put an end to it. Fill the completed food shortage card in the box under history. Finally. Place the townsfolk cards in the discard pile, of course. Find card 53 and file it in the box under other setup cards for future games. Another food shortage card. Good grief. So literally, once you start that food shortage thing, it literally just taps your resources for the rest of the game. And there's really, and it just says you can't win the game without it. So there's the next one. Do it again. I'm growing very tired of this narrative because it's not really adding anything. It's just leeching supplies, which I realize is the point, but it's still kind of annoying because it's not very story-based in that sense, at least not compared to the text, which is one thing I'm starting to dislike about the game, is the story is kind of pasted onto the mechanic. That said, that's all the card. So 1, 2, lose 2 cards, and there'll be 1 extra barbarian. So he gets pushed down. Barbarian, 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 then plus barbarian. So that's neat. And notice there, we're about to lose the game if we can't do anything about it. And those were 2 additional ones that were put in last turn. That said, it also tapped us down enough that we will have to get this done at the same time. So odds are very likely we just lost the game. So anyway, recruiting phase, that's the last 4 of these. It's 2 white meeples, 1 color meeple. Let's see, red, red, black, I guess. Or in this case, got lots of reds. Got a black, so good on that front. If we do, we're about to do the color converter. So, as well as getting a shell and a bag of groceries. So 2 meeples, another red meeple, a shell, and a bag of groceries, and the 4 cards. Now I'll get this guy back. Okay, first thing we gotta do is this, or it's all over. Although it probably is anyway. So tunnel out. This time there's no downside, happily. So we just get a brick and a stick. Okay, so that's 1 thing done. Now we got to pick off some barbarians. So yeah, we need to do the yellow converter. So 3 sticks, 1 white meeple, and a clay. To move this guy, so white equals yellow, and now we can grab 1 more. Let's see, red, red, yellow, and a black. And if we make this another yellow, so that's 1. And sack this person for 2 red. And then recruit the freebie. Let's see. Oh, I don't have enough groceries, do I? Let's see, can I get any more? Not really. Well, that's bad news. So, about to lose due to lack of supplies, probably. All right. Well, if we sack this one for the white and the red, and then put the white one here for another bag of groceries. And then where does that leave us? So we got red, red, yellow. That takes out this guy with the 2 bags of groceries. That will give us enough space to not get out this round. And then if we don't have enough groceries to do another one, so we just use this person for the blue. And then we will we'll hang on to him but keep the clay. Okay. So what does that mean? We take this guy out, and now we have an event occur. And this is event 25. This was still rising off the rivers. The barbarians came into view. Our scouts had reported of their movement during the night, likely trying to catch us off guard. They did not succeed in their deception, but no way did that diminish the sight of them. Led by a warrior head and shoulders above the rest, they became hungry for battle. There's a lot of hunger in this game. There's nothing quite like the sound of battle. There we stood and fought like lions as the enemy sank into the mud. They became hungry for battle, and as rain fell that day, they were sated. Filed the defeated barbarian card under history and gained 2 provisions, 3 wood or 3 clay. Cool. So, 2 bags of groceries, that's super handy. And then 3 wood or 3 clay. Now we got mounds of clay. Black, or just use one of the bag of groceries to pick this guy off, which we will do, since it only takes 1 provision to kill him. So, getting rid of that guy first pretty much saved us. So now we get 1 coin and a white meeple, and he gets discarded. White meeple and coin. Okay, so now what? I got 1 extra clay, so I can bribe this guy. Can't bribe him, can't bribe him. Nothing you can do about that person. My last grocery to recruit this person, because we burned a lot of cards just then. All right. To the return the barge, so the barge is back. Barge is back in town. Now we take the hit. First we bribe this guy. And this one doesn't actually take anything, but they add 1 extra barbarian. So we'll be adding 1, 2, 3 barbarian cards. And we lose 2 cards, which means we have to shuffle, which pushes this forward. 1, 2. Getting these accelerator cards and having Fortress number 55, it seems like it just never goes away with this story plot, is getting a little obnoxious. Okay, so now we have to move 1, 2, 3 barbarians in. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I mean, seriously? This seems a bit excessive. And that said, it is time for the new round. Oh yeah, there's still 1 peasant that goes in. So let's see. 2 whites, 1 coin, a bag of groceries. A second coin for having 1 of those built now. And then a colored meeple, which is going to be another, looks like red. So using the yellow equivalency, first thing we're going to do is red, red, yellow this guy to get rid of him for 3 coins. Now we're going to sack this one for 2 black, plus this blue we still had sitting here to get rid of this one, along with 1 bag of groceries to pay for it. So now we're out of groceries, but this meeple was still there, so we put that meeple back for 1 bag of groceries again. And that sacks this one, and we get 2 coins and a piece of wood. And more importantly, gets that one out of the accelerator out of the freebie, because we're gonna have to do this right now. So 2 coins and 3 white meeples, trash, to excavate this out. So we get a brick and a coin, and lose 2 more cards. 1, 2. Those things are getting very pricey, and it gets even worse as you get down here. So that clears that out. And sack this guy for 2 groceries and a white meeple. So it's the white meeple. Then we can get rid of this and stick this here, which is another bag of groceries. And there's another event. Awesome. Let's see, we're out of meeples at the moment. Let's see, we got another wood. Recruiting that blue one will be helpful. At the moment we'll put it there, so we have a color converter for yet another red, because there's so many of them that we need. And here is another wood. So what happens with story point number 2? Even as we make room for more workers, the space is filled. Just today, I met a craftswoman from Yangchen. The clay she is sculpting is exquisite. File the constructed hut card in the box under history, find card 11 and place it face down on top of your ready pile. Okay, so lose that one, and card 11 face down on top of the ready pile is yet a new person. So that's nice. So we have 5 cards left in our deck. That's very fortunate. Now let's see, what can we do about buying people off? We don't have another white meeple. Here's a stick for you. Here's a bag of groceries for you. Here's 2 coins for you. So we're gonna lose 2 cards, which means we won't have enough in the draw pile, which means we'll still lose. And as such, we get to draw our first loss encounter. Well, we lost due to not being able to draw, so it's number 9. Tushinashi, my heart is tossed to and fro like a bird before the storm. My heart grieves as we had to abandon our work this year as barbarians moved against us in force, driving us away from the rivers and canals we've worked so hard to complete. However, not as hopeless. Messengers from His Eminence arrived in the village this evening. They brought with them news and gifts of coming from the Emperor. File the revealed defeat card in the box under history. Okay. Find cards 48 to 51 and file them under other setup cards. During the setup of your next 4 games, shuffle all boon cards and reveal just one of them. Return the rest to the box for future games. Each boon card gives you an immediate reward before starting the game. Okay, well, no doubt about it. Having the Fortress plus 2 of the Accelerator Barbarians at the same time, loading up 4 Barbarians at once in a slot that's only 7 long, pretty much guaranteed we were going to lose, unless something amazing happened. Just had to burn through too many cards to keep up. So next time we'll see how it goes. At least we got rid of a couple of those Accelerator Barbarians, so they won't be coming back, so that'll slow down the Barbarian deck. We still have that stupid Fortress to deal with, and we still have that Famine card going on. This will be like the 3rd game in a row that we have the Famine. Started in game 1, and it's been carrying through ever since, which is really kind of annoying, but whatever. In any case, hope you enjoyed this one, a little bit shorter. I'm Ray, this is TinyTableGames, and I'll catch you next time.